That's an X-Men theme, in case y'all didn't know. Anyway, welcome back to Know Your Own Strength. Today is going to be a subject that a lot of people in the gym seem to know about and talk about, but they don't really know how it works. People in and outside of the gym, actually. And as you can see on the board, the subject is creatine. What is creatine? I know everybody got that mom or that grandma that see you putting creatine in your shake or something like that, and they're like, is that a type of steroid? Is that drugs? Because it looks like cocaine, usually, but it's not steroids. But surprisingly, you guys might be happy to know it works pretty closely. So you might want to start taking it after this, and let's get right into it. So, what is creatine, first of all? What creatine is a phosphate bond. Phosphates are basically little chemical acid-like molecules that are in your body. Now, creatine, the scientific name for it is phosphocreatine. So PC, when you see in this diagram on the board, PC or phosphocreatine is what creatine is. Now, I'm going to get a couple things out of the way. Yes, you do need to drink more water when you take creatine. It increases the water volume in your cells. So that is one of the main things you do need to worry about. That is a disclaimer on it. Kids, if you see this, don't go out and buy, a bunch of creatine and start taking it all the time. Keep drinking 2 cups of water a day because you're going to dehydrate yourself. You're going to start having muscle cramps and muscle problems, things you don't want to do. But now that that's out of the way creatine works is, to put it simply, it makes you stronger. Video over. No, I'm just kidding. But if you wanted to end the video there, you could, but I'm guessing you're watching this video because you want to know why it makes you stronger. So there's a little thing in your body called ATP. What ATP is, the name for it fully is adenosine triphosphate. And what adenosine triphosphate does, it is another phosphate molecule, as I'm sure you could deduce by the name. It is related to creatine. What adenosine triphosphate does is, it is a bond of these phosphate molecules. As soon as this bond breaks, the little explosion, so to speak, happens. These molecules break. When they break, it creates the energy for your muscles to be able to contract. So by me flexing my bicep right now, I've used ATP. ATP is, so to speak, the electricity that flows through your muscular veins. It's what powers your muscles. So when ATP breaks, okay, your body has a very limited use of ATP on hand most of the time, and it's usually used when you're doing most explosive exercises, okay? Very high strength-based exercises. ATP can be used for aerobic exercise. I will elaborate on ATP more later, but this video is more so about creatine. So as I said, just know that ATP powers your muscles. So when it breaks down, obviously, your muscles will begin running out of ATP. So as it breaks down, you get the phosphate molecule that separates from it, and then you get adenosine diphosphate, okay? So triphosphate being 3 phosphate molecules with adenosine, diphosphate then being 2 phosphate molecules together with adenosine, okay? So the ADP is what it becomes after it breaks down and create the muscle for your energy. So now your body needs something that's going to be able to build the ATP back up so that you can continue to move, because otherwise, after a couple reps of any exercise ever, or just walking down the street, your muscles are going to break down and you're not going to work anymore, right? You're just going to turn into a limp noodle. So what your body uses to put more phosphate molecules together and bond them to make more ATP so that your muscles can move is PC, aka phosphocreatine. So when phosphocreatine breaks down, it allows more phosphate molecules to be available. Then your body uses the energy to bond them together right here to make the ATP again. So the adenosine diphosphate bonds with the creatine phosphate molecule to come together again to become ATP. Okay? So these bond together, boom, they come back around, and then you get the cycle again to have ATP, which is what you want. Now, the reason all of this, all of this stuff together will make you stronger, so to speak. Okay, for those of you who want this in layman's terms, if you have proper or even substantial amounts of creatine in your body already, the amount that you will be able to regenerate the ATP is going to increase at a high rate, which means you can do more reps, you can do more weight at any given time. So literally, creatine makes you stronger. You want to take creatine. In actuality, okay? Aside from one of the bro science you hear all the time, like, bro, take your creatine, bro. Did you take creatine? Oh man, I'm not so good today because I didn't take my creatine. Well, in actuality, they are right. Most of them don't know why. But now you know why and how creatine makes you stronger. This, of course, is the simplest explanation version that you will get, so to speak. As always, I will be putting my references in the description below so that you can look up the books. I have a couple of articles, I believe, for this that you will be able to see. That will explain to you very much in depth how the phosphate molecules bond, how they come together. Specifically, there's an article from a book of mine that I just bought, a recent exercise physiology book, that explains that there are no actual scientific tests or evidence that have proven negative reactions from taking creatine. I just want you to know that right now. So anytime somebody comes at you with some weird, stupid science that's like, creatine is only going to turn into fat in your body, right? Which is not possible because phosphate molecules and fats are completely different things. However, people are going to tell you some dumb stuff. Just stupid things. I've heard so many things, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Anyway, whatever stupid crap people tell you about creatine is most likely not going to be true. They have done tests for up to 6 and 8 months of people taking creatine, have not seen any adverse effects in their body. Now, they don't recommend you go for an extended period of time taking creatine every day for a year. It's good for you to be able to go off of it every once in a while. Okay, your gains will stay there as long as you are continuing to exercise. Now, another thing I'd like to address, for those of you who are hipsters, for lack of a better word, and are like, yo bro, only natural substances in my body, right? Creatine phosphate is natural. But anyway, only natural substances in my body. I only am gonna eat what Mother Earth is gonna feed me, bro, like from the dirt. There are natural ways to get creatine if you don't want to take the supplements, or if you're like me and you're most of the time just broke and you don't have money to spend on supplements, you either have to choose supplements or food. Yes, there are foods to eat that will increase your creatine amount in your body. Your body actually does produce creatine naturally in your bloodstream. Supplementation is just that. It is supplementation. It just adds on to what you are already getting. So foods that will increase your creatine amount in your body, first of all, creatine is a bond that comes from amino acids, okay, just like protein. And we're going to get into that. I'll make another video of that later to explain a whole bunch of stuff that I'm sure the supplement industry would not want me to explain. But anyway, creatine is a bond of amino acids, specific amino acids being, I believe, glycine. Oh God, of course I forgot when the video starts. Anyway, I will be posting the article in the description, but glycine is one of the main amino acids that come together to create creatine, okay? Specific foods that you eat that will be high in creatine are going to be meat. Meat is very high in creatine. They've said and tested that it is one of the highest food providers of creatine out of almost anything. Now, the reason is because meat will provide you the creatine in its final form, okay, because it's muscle. Meat is muscle from animals. So you're just taking the creatine from their muscles, you're putting it into theirs. Now, to get the amino acids in a different way, if you're a vegetarian, for example, or even a vegan or whatever, you eat foods like peanuts, a lot of legumes and beans will have the amino acids you need to be able to put together for more creatine production in your body if you don't want to eat meat, okay? But anyway, those are the natural ways you want to do it. If any of you want to be hipsterish and say, I'm all natural, bro, yeah, it's cool, okay? You can do that without being able to take a supplementation, but the supplementation will most definitely help you. So anyway, guys, take some creatine, get strong, and we will see you in the next video.